lift again. There's lots of new content. I played it for 5 hours. Still need more. Oh. Oh, okay.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
What?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
Yes,
Ultra
actually.
Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Okay. Oh, hello. New content is out. New content part 2 is in.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
Okay.
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Yeah. Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman, Arkham Asylum 2, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return to Fire, and Dark Souls 2. There you go, guys. Those are some good sequels, okay? Sorry, my butt is sticking to my chair, but I still want to be tucked in my blanket. I'm being a proper child right now. The prequel to the Stanley Parable 2 is the sequel to the Stanley Parable is the prequel to the... Okay. This way to the show floor, okay. New features! Okay. Oh. Meow.
Whoa.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay. Oh, look, match! I saw the new content. I want some of the merch. The end is never the end again. This t-shirt is the best new feature. Oh my gosh, guys, I actually want a t-shirt like that. Office directions, the Stanley Parable, reassurance bucket, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. What? The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Well, I want to press the button. New content area. Yeah, it's all snazzed, isn't it? Have your name in the game. Exclusive! The button that says the... Okay, yeah, I just read that.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized
Oh, of course.
and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button, which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, is it going to say my name?
I'll play another one. Easy.
Ready? Da-da.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
Okay, I'm Jim.
Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim,
I am Jim.
falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply?
Mm-hmm.
Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Hi,
If so,
I'm Jim.
Then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Ha!
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The
Yay!
button described you! Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Yeah!
It's even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Am I Finny again now? Can I stop being Jim? I'm all Jimmed out. Right, okay. Back down we go then. You really let the Jim... I did... What? What? You want me to press it again? Without pressing it? Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry, Hallie. Because he told you not to. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me go test it.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
No, come back! Okay. Whoops. Yeah, silly me. I was went on autopilot. It's been so long since I've had a choice to make, you see, that I just sort of did what he told me. Are you happy now? Yeah, do you feel satisfied? Have I made the Hallie happy? Are you a happy Hallie? Ooh.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Please, no screenshots. Whole new office. Red is the new orange. The new updated ray traced. More of the same, but in a good way. New features, new content, new ideas. Consistent quality was with just the right amount of change. The baby is all grown up. I never got to see the baby. I need to figure out how to see the baby. Like, there were still other ones that I needed to see, but I need Jake to give me that link again. I haven't seen the baby bit. No, they've spoken about the baby a few times now, and I haven't seen the baby bit. He gave you the deluxe edition, though. Not the original. Oh, did he? Oh, okay. I need the one for the original. The button that says, yeah, I've done that. Jump circle and infinite hole. Well, we're going to need to go in the infinite hole. Everyone needs to go in the infinite hole. What's that? Jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
I did.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative
No,
piece,
give me my jumps
then.
back. What? You butt munch. Give him. Whatever. Fine. Infinite hole. Oh, hello. What's this one?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Well, none.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, Stanley.
I did.
is.
Hey! He ignored me! What?
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Okay. Where's the music? No, I want to go over here because we needed to go through the infinite hole, didn't we? Infinite hole. I hated this part. What? Why? What? Oh! Rim. Excellent. Infinite hole is top tier. Okay.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay. Why would I want to? Okay.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then,
No.
since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bother, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
Oh
It is
no!
a very deep hole. To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Is anything going to happen if I don't do it? Okay.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Is that all of this bit? Okay, that was funny. I like that one. Oh. Why is there suddenly music out here now? Jump back in? Jump back in? And hi. Okay, hang on. I'm going to go jump back in. If you're winding me up and I don't really need to jump back in, I might, like, punch you. Just saying.
Oh, for heaven. You see?
Okay.
I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough?
Okay.
I'm positively thrilled. I really
So,
do have so much more
if I
to
jump
show
in
you
again, is he
and
going to
to
do
talk
something
about.
else?
And I've had
Should we
enough
try?
of the hole for a lifetime. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lies come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
Divot.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who
can't
am
get
I
out.
to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
No,
Is the, teleport button not working?
no, let me out.
You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
What?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care,
No,
Stanley.
let me out.
I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
What? No, no, it needs to let me out. Like, let me out. Do I have to restart it? Oh my god, the music's getting dramatic. Oh. Why's it going down? Okay, bye. It's so loud. Change your perspective. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Change your reality. Oh my goodness. Puppies! Countess, thank you so much for the host. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
My head's stronger. You're no longer. You space of mine.
Oh my gosh.
Now you're no longer.
Is that it? Am I done now?
Stanley? Stanley?
Oh no, here we go.
Stanley!
Oh my god.
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley.
No, we
because
can't.
this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole. And I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley.
Thank you.
I'll be back.
Toodle pip.
Toodle pip.
Okay, I want to get out of the hole now. Hi, Countess. How are you doing, lovely? Right, can I like... Oh, I didn't do it. Oh, he did it. Okay.
Here we are. Go on.
Okay.
Try out some of the new features.
Right, so I've done over there. I'm going to do the free now and easy achievement. Hold up. You hold up. Why am I holding up? No, you're winding me up. Okay, fine. If I get stuck in the hole again, we have to go through that all over again. I'm going to be cross with you. I've lost the hole. Oh, you can't go to the hole again. Nope. No hole. No. He closed it. Good. Okay, so I want whatever this free achievement. Get yours right now. Pull the lever and receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works. Okay.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes.
Yay.
You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Ready?
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Give it. Fine. No achievement for me. I was like, wait, what do you mean?
What else? What other exhibits
What, are
haven't
you
we
about
seen
to
yet?
tell me to go back? What's this? Collect them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Yay! I want to do it again. Can I get another one? Okay, no. Mwah!
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
So, are these things actually in the game? Like, in this doodah? Can I find them? I want to get all 6. That's the exit. We don't want to go to the exit. So I've done the hole. I've done the collectibles. That's nothing.
Okay.
Um,
What are you doing?
what was over here? I've done the merch. Oh, I haven't done the reassurance bucket yet. Or I've done the no screenshot section, haven't I? Yeah, let's do the reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable.
Nah.
Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Oh.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
Totally.
And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh,
The
thanks.
benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Can I keep the bucket? I'm going to keep the bucket. It's my bucket now.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Right, so button that says gym, done that. I've done that bit. Oh, in that case, I haven't been in this room over here. Have I? Oh, yeah, I have. That's a balloon bit. Yeah. That's the balloon bit. Okay, I think that's everything. Like, literally, why am I still holding this bucket? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so where was the exit? I've like lost the plot. Where's the exit? Can I take my bucket with me? Okay. Right.
So, Stanley,
Oh, my
what do you
God, that
think?
scared me.
Do you like all of the new features? Yes,
Oh,
I
I
know it's
love
not exactly
them.
clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
I still had the
Here
bucket.
it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes.
Oh, the
this
jumps
is
are back.
much
Can I have my
better.
jumps
feel
back?
good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy
worries.
creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
Of course.
With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
I'm just going to leave this bit on for a sec, see what it does. I like the music. Oh, and it's back to the same thing. Begin the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Click to skip.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee
Balloons
number
are there.
427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions,
balloons are there.
call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
Oh my god, I can't stop
Something
yawning.
was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley
So,
looked,
how do I
he
get to the
couldn't find
baby
a trace
one?
of his co-workers.
I want to go to the baby one.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference. Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up.
Whoa,
Why was he
the
not doing
bucket's
it?
there. I'm sorry.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Okay. I'm glad we feel better about the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Going dog walking. No worries.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Where's the bucket, guys?
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. You found one of them.
Yay!
One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines. The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
The bucket's here, guys. It's gonna be okay.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I don't know why I keep yawning so much. So every minute.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Cuddles. Cuddles with the bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Oh.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it.
Where did the
Stanley
infinite
and the
hole
bucket
come
had
into
defeated
it?
their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
What?
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room,
Hey!
lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Is that it? Like, is there anything else?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I'm going to go back this way and see if there's anything else that's here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
What happens if you jump off?
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Sorry.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
I might take the bucket with me this time.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go. Good,
said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Why not?
In here,
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
I'm wondering if there's like another
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
exit
Pick up
over
the
here.
phone and it will
Ending,
take
sorry.
us back home, where we can go about life together.
I'm going to see if anything happens if I don't answer the phone. You got to listen to the phone ring now. Okay, I don't think it's going to stop ringing, you know. Fine.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket.
Oh.
Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I
This
thought
is
he was
new.
lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Oops. Okay. Is this my home? There's my bucket. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press B to take me to work with you. Well, not right now. I want to press buttons.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Ah. Press B to take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Press L to go back to work.
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press C for us to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Press K to ignore anyone in your life except me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore.
Aww.
From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press N to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press O to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Press C to go home, to work, to home, to work, to home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. The bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
What is happening?
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Close your eyes. Go back to work, Stanley. Ooh, it's different. Where'd everything go?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Whoa.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Welcome to the whiteboard ending. Oh, dog mode! Yeah, let's undo that annoying thing, shall we? Okay.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Thank you, darling. Whoa. Trust the completionist instinct. How can we find them all? Small floating objects appeared around the office. What? Small floating objects. How can you tell who's put one? What makes them float in the air? Who took the pictures? Okay. Is there one in here? I do feel like I need to get all of them.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
Don't do it.
I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on,
Well,
Stanley.
I never.
Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Okay, we're gonna go. Let's go
Coming to a
down.
staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Another miniature Stanley
Yay!
figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he
Is
was
this one not
crazy.
going to be any
And
different,
then
even though I've got the bucket?
Something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly
Whoa.
be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
Oh my god.
It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed
My
dead
phone
on the
recognised the
sidewalk.
game, only
Right
hearing it.
away,
Really?
She knew what the problem
I didn't
was.
never even heard of it
This
before
man
yet, like
had no
Tuesday.
bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a
is he?
video game.
Whereabouts?
It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter.
I lived in
Of course, she
Portsmouth
had
for
no
like
time for this.
6
There were a
years.
myriad of confusing problems
That's
she would
pretty
soon
cute.
have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Well, I like them. That's so cute. Fair
All
play.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So I'm thinking now it's worth doing all the endings that I've already found, but with the bucket.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms.
So
With the bucket in his arms again,
we see all
he
the
was
new
home.
endings. What I might do is I might stop the game. Since it has like no clear ending, I'm like never going to stop.